वेलकम बैक टू लीगल मैटर्स। आपकी जो कॉलें आ रही थी उसके हम अब जवाब दे दें और आगे भी बढ़ेंगे। जो भी आपके क्वेश्चन ज़रूर हमें मुख्तसर क्वेश्चन रखें और विल ट्राई आपको इंफॉर्मेशन देंगे, जेनरिक इंफॉर्मेशन देंगे। शायद साहब आई एम गोना बिगिन पे ये अभी जो कॉल आई थी पहले जो तारिक महमूद साहब की जो कॉल आई थी वाइफ स्पाउस का 6 months उन्होंने क्या हो गई अभी जवाब नहीं आया होम ऑफिस से। Normally, this is 6 months is not a long time.
Yeah, I mean normally the Home Office would take around 6 months to process application.
कभी-कभी देर भी हो जाती है.
कभी-कभी yeah. I mean it all depends on whether he submitted the application himself or was it through a solicitor, because there's a lot of evidence that you need to provide for this application to be successful. So the Home Office is probably looking into what evidence has been submitted. On his behalf. So, I mean, it's quite normal for these sort of application to take around 6 months. Yeah, so it's nothing
unusual
or to be too worried about it.
Exactly. बहुत शुक्रिया। और ये भी हम बताते चलें अगर उनका जैसे आपने मेंशन कर रहा था अगर कोई solicitor है और आने पर एक जो status update ले लें.
Yeah.
From his
status update application.
अपने application के बारे में आप पूछ सकते हैं वो आपको provide करते हैं। But it's a normal process यही होता है 6-8 months लग जाते हैं। Nothing to worry about. तारिक साहब बहुत शुक्रिया आपके क्वेश्चन का। आगे बढ़ते हैं। जो कॉल आई थी अपने महमूद शहजाद साहब की वो 7-year रूल पे बात कर रहे थे। अगेन उन्होंने कहा था that 16 years हो चुके थे, बच्चा 7 year हो गया, बायोमेट्रिक हो गया है। That means it's in process. ये तो process में चल रहा है। Looks good.
Yeah. I mean the fact that he's already been asked to go for biometrics, that means that obviously they have looked favorably on his circumstances, and that's why they've asked for for the biometrics.
So इनको थोड़ा सा वेट करना पड़ेगा।
थोड़ा सा वेट करना पड़ेगा। Yeah, I think hopefully it will be a positive result.
Yeah, तो महमूद साहब को आपको पता चल गया। I think it's in your favor that one. और डील की जो कॉल आई थी स्पाउस वीज़ा वो कह रहे थे 18,600 की उनकी जो रिक्वायरमेंट है वो तो that is the threshold of the UK की
the minimum threshold
requirement for spouse. You need to आपको जो you need to meet that criteria. मगर उन्होंने एक बात कही थी. One of the question was he missed one of his
one of the pay slips for one of the months.
इसमें थोड़ा सा उन्हें प्रॉब्लम हो सकता है अगर वो इसे एक्सप्लेन नहीं करें. He needs to explain that. But obviously this was only for 5 months.
That's right. Yeah.
थोड़ा सा आप explain करें.
Yeah. So basically, the 18,600 is for the full year. That's what you need to be earning in 12 months. So agar aapne already you managed to get very close to 18,600, but you didn't quite meet the benchmark, then you still got sufficient time to find another job, get your employment contract. And then basically you'll be writing a supporting letter to say that my previous job came to an end due to whatever reasons. However, you are currently employed, and then if you take both your previous job and the new job into consideration, you ought to be able to meet the criteria of 18,600.
But he needs to provide the 6 months bank statements.
Yes.
6 months. He needs to provide that. Call आ रही है शामिल करते हैं. Welcome to Legal Matters. Hello. हेलो लगता है कॉल ड्रॉप हो गई. चलें आगे बढ़ते हैं. जो उस्मान साहब की कॉल आई थी यूरोपियन वाइफ he's been refused again is from what I understand lack of information हमारे पास.
I mean he had a visit from the border control, but he's not been asked to go for the interview. So what we need to do is obviously need to know more information why he was refused in the first place. Maybe he might have to do a fresh application, but it all depends on the circumstances, why he was refused in the first place.
Again, because अपने जो उस्मान भाई आपकी जो कॉल आई थी we don't have the particulars. आपके information जो हमारी जो वो स्क्रीन पे जो हमारा वो लिखा था info.legalmatters@mail.com आप उस पर हमें भेज सकते हैं. We can have a look at that और फिर हम आपको generic advice भी देंगे. So contact उससे हमें करें. आगे बढ़ता हूँ. शायद जो आसिफ की कॉल आई थी he said 2012 में he came down on the old rules. उनकी जो marriage
has broken down.
Is broken down according to the immigration rules. It's not subsisting. So you
he's not in a genuine subsisting relationship anymore, and that is the basis of actually getting an extension. So he's not involved in any other relationship. he hasn't got any
second कोई marriage नहीं है,
yeah,
बच्चे नहीं है.
yeah, so you know, I mean, there are no like strong ties to the UK, which makes it very difficult. And the fact that not a long time has lapsed, you know, from 2012, we're talking 2016, 4 years. You know, that's not sufficiently long time.
बिल्कुल सही.
Yeah.
And again, आपका जो ये one of the requirements is that the marriage has to be subsistent. और आपके इसमें नहीं है. That's one of the big issues. Plus, अगर आपके remarriage होते would have been different, and that could have been considered, looked at, उसकी merit पे. But obviously हमारे पास सबकी information है. We're just giving generic advice on this one. तो अगर आप कांटेक्ट करना चाहें, आप हमारे जो स्क्रीन पे जो डिटेल्स आ रहे थे उस पर हमें कांटेक्ट कर सकते हैं. we'll be more than happy to give you further information. शायद obviously आपसे मैं यही डिस्कस कर रहा हूँ. Let's just carry on talking on this, because अभी टाइम हमारे पास ज़्यादा नहीं है, because program will have to end soon. But let's just talk about, very importantly, just spouse visa जो था हमने जो अभी कॉलें आ रही, लोग बड़े confused हो रहे हैं. Requirements is 18,600. That is the threshold they need.
That is the threshold.
minimum.
That's the minimum threshold.
तो अब इसमें हमने last time भी बता चुके, मगर व्यूज़ों को फिर बताते चलते. There are exemptions 18,600 की. So exemption. Let's talk about that. जो carriers and etc.
I mean the obvious exemptions to this 18,600 is if you have a scenario where you have a son or a daughter, but they are actually caring for you, so i.e. they are not in full-time gainful employment. So under those circumstances, that person doesn't need to fulfill the criteria of 18,600. And secondly, also, if somebody is on disability living allowance, you know, then that person
on a high rate.
On a high rate. They don't need to meet this requirement as
so
well.
let's just talk about ये जो obviously views को बताना ज़रूरी होता है, because आजकल ये confusion है. So they need to do ये जो English language का जो test that they have to do the B1. Let's talk about it. ये थोड़ा सा बताएंगे.
I mean, the old days, the level B1 used to equate to ESOL level 5. It's not a very demanding or difficult English language standard to pass. You know, I mean, most people were able to pass that with a relative ease. So now, you know, if you are applying for a spouse visa, the criteria is that your spouse needs to be able to speak a good level of English, hence the level B1, and also to pass the Life in UK test.
जी, वो तो जब indefinite leave remain की
That's right.
वो तो later on की बात होगी. पहले तो उन्हें ये test pass करना है before they even gonna come down here.
That's
and
right.
it's very important. Let's just carry on. इसके थोड़ा सा हम और discuss करते हैं. अभी थोड़ा सा हमारे पास time है अभी. Now ये अभी call जो आई थी, again, one of the criteria in the rules is very clear है. That was by genuineness test.
Yeah, genuineness test. Yeah, so your relationship is actually genuine.
Exactly.
It's not a sham marriage or a marriage of convenience.
That's right. So let's just talk about ये. For example, usually होता है जो यूरोपियनों से शादी करते हैं और
that's right. Yeah.
तो immediately वो उनको शक होता है that this is a marriage of convenience.
Yeah, it raises a big red flag
Absolutely.
for the immigration authorities, that when you have a situation where there's a non-European marrying a European person, you know, I mean, it's difficult. I mean, the default position is that you need to prove that is genuine, not for them to take it on a face value basis.
बिल्कुल. So जो कर रहा है it's in his interest. But then again, बड़ी जो इस वक्त जो problems आ रही हैं, the people who have done this, there is a criminal offence. Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, if the authorities find out that it wasn't a genuine relationship, then obviously your visa can be revoked.
And not just only that, it's a custodial. जिसने करा है उसकी it's a criminal offence to do so. So obviously this is a very हम यही कहेंगे that इन चीज़ों से बचना चाहिए. Should not get involved with this kind of stuff. Let's just carry on talking about जो हमारे requirements होती हैं. One of the requirements is sufficient accommodation. थोड़ा सा इसे बताएं. Sufficient accommodation.
Yes, sufficient accommodation. Obviously, when somebody is getting married, that person, their partner, would be joining them back in the UK. So the authorities want to make sure that the accommodation is not going to lead to overcrowding. And then secondly, also that there will be no recourse to public funds. So the person who will be coming here will not be allowed to obtain any benefits. Yeah. So in order to meet this criteria, obviously you need to have a survey done. I mean, a lot of the local authorities will write a report for you to confirm that your accommodation is fit for multiple occupation, you know, there is sufficient accommodation to support another person joining your family household.
And so basically they need to get a letter, just
independent letter from a local estate agent. They do it as well. Some of the councils they do it as well.
उनके थोड़ी सी फीस होती है वो करवा के फिर वो जाते हैं आपके
that needs to go with as a supporting evidence.
Exactly.
With your application.
But let's just talk about जो अभी हमारी कॉल आई थी अभी just before. We don't know the circumstances on breakdown. Again, this is why we're giving generic. Now, if that could have been domestic violence,
obviously there is one correct
category में वो जा सकते हैं. But we don't have the information. जब भी तो मैं views को बता रहा था that we don't have the information.
I mean, he did briefly touch upon it that there was some dispute or argument, but it depends on the severity
and circumstances
and the overall circumstances. Obviously, if it was. I mean, domestic violence doesn't need to be just physical. It could be emotional and psychological as well. You know, so if he had actually reported to somebody else, there is evidence, maybe a police report or to your GP or a psychiatrist, then that could be used as a basis to apply for ILR in his circumstances.
But then again, Shahid, Joe. In any circumstance like that, domestic violence has to go through the Home Office, has to go through the proper उसका application होता है.
Yes.
उसका जो application होता है domestic violence का होता है DV जिसे कहते हैं, and उस पे you have to prove that this has happened.
That's right.
So medically and police.
Yes.
And
you need to have.
You need the evidence to do that. Call आ रही से शामिल करते हैं. Welcome to Legal Matters.
Hello.
जी, welcome to Legal Matters. कौन कहाँ से?
I just want to ask about a law. Are you listening me, please?
Yes, live on program. आप live and show पे.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm Javed speaking from Manchester.
Okay, Javed sir, welcome to the program. अपना सवाल बताएं. Your question.
हाँ जी. Question ये है कि यूरोपियन लोगों के लिए वो is it okay or I should speak English?
आप जो भी कंफर्टेबल फील कर रहे हैं, जिसमें भी आप फील करते हैं कंफर्टेबल, आप बात करें. हम आपका
वो यूरोपियन जो है वो उनके लिए अगर if they have worked part time 1 year before they start the pension, can they apply permanent residence, please? I listen on the TV. Can you answer me?
Permanent residence. आपने क्या फिर से बताया पार्ट टाइम अगर उन्होंने काम करा है पेंशन का क्या था?
1 year before going on pension.
Before going on to pension, 1 year before.
And they can apply permanent residence or not?
Permanent residence. Okay, शुक्रिया आपका कॉल का, बहुत शुक्रिया. Thank you. जावेद साहब आपको जवाब देंगे. ऑब्वियसली अभी हम डिस्कस कर रहे थे, एक दो बातें चल रही थी, उनका हम आपको जवाब भी देंगे. होपफुली इंशाल्लाह जेनरिक इंफॉर्मेशन दे रहे हैं. Just coming back on the spouse the requirement is 6 months bank statements.
Yes.
And they'll have to uska jo requirement of the shayza they have income has to be
18,600
plus aapke account manager.
Absolutely, it
has
to be verified.
2000 is married because they will pull up on this one.
Because if you are on a
lumps dal diye jis tarah hote hain, this is wrong.
That doesn't look like you are employed with a single job.
Bilkul. And what about the facts about jo यहाँ पे जो we not talked about this, the people in just sole traders or limited company, they self-employed they need इनका तो 12 months की ज़रूरत होती है. The rules let's talk about
their criteria is even tougher, you know. So as for people who are employed, they only need to submit 6 months bank statements. For sole trader or self-employed people, they need to have 12 months accounts. They need to have it verified by an accountant, you know. There's various criteria that they need to meet.
Plus उनका जो HMRC tax UTR or the unique tax reference होता है, they need to be उसे check करते हैं. That's very important. I'm just coming back and जो European जावेद साहब की थे, I mean obviously इनके ये देखना है तो इनके period गुजर गई.
Permanent residence, you know, the law is very simple. You have to be actually 5 years
5 years.
You know, just because you came and you were at the age of pension doesn't qualify.
Exactly.
You have to have 5 years here.
And then you can go for the permanent residency.
That's right.
And उसके बाद providing जो
and in terms of pension, you know, pension is based on what you have put into the system. So obviously it's a very complicated area of law. He needs to provide what he was doing in Europe. Did he make a contribution towards his pension there? Because that needs to be brought over here, or he needs to actually tap into that pension. Because you can earn lots of different pensions from different jobs and different states. So the UK will only provide you pension based on what you paid into the
system. That's the way it works. Again, I think Javed Saab ka jo question is more about the PR, the permanent residency. 5 years aapko karna hai, that is the rules. And if you've not done that, then obviously he doesn't qualify nahi karte us pe. हम इस पे ज़रा इस जो ये यूरोपियन जो लेजिस्लेशन है और जो ये ट्रीटी राइट्स हैं,
EU treaty rights,
हाँ, जो EU treaty rights है, इस पे हम डिस्कस करेंगे नेक्स्ट प्रोग्राम में इंशाल्लाह, because obviously I'm running out of time. Call ले नहीं सकता because we are actually running out of time. I'll try to quickly get this call. See what. जी, welcome to Legal Matters. Hello. जी, वालेकुम सलाम. आप अपना क्वेश्चन बताएंगे ब्रदर, अपना नाम दें और क्वेश्चन प्लीज.
अच्छा जी, मेरा नाम मोहम्मद अफजल है, ठीक है
जी.
और मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि मेरी यूरोपियन नेशनल से शादी हुई है और कंप्रेहेंसिव इंश्योरेंस जो है वो पूरी फैमिली की करवानी है या सिर्फ जो है ना वो यूरोपियन नेशनल की करवानी है?
ओके,
एक्सरसाइज करने के लिए.
ओके, एक्सरसाइज ट्रीटी राइट्स, या
एक्सरसाइज मतलब सबकी कंप्रेहेंसिव सिकनेस इंश्योरेंस होनी चाहिए या पूरी फैमिली की होनी चाहिए या सिर्फ यूरोपियन नेशनल की होनी चाहिए?
या फैमिली की होना चाहिए. बिल्कुल ठीक है, आपको ये बता देंगे. थैंक यू वेरी मच आपका क्वेश्चन का.
थैंक यू,
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया. आई थिंक वी रन आउट टाइम फॉर एनी फर्दर. अब इस वक्त हम कॉल्स लेना ज़रा मुश्किल हो रहा है बिकॉज वी एक्चुअली रन आउट टाइम. आपसे माजरा करते हैं, पर इंशाल्लाह जो नेक्स्ट प्रोग्राम होगा उसमें हम ये कंटिन्यू रखेंगे क्वेश्चंस एंड आंसर्स एंड आपको ये जेनरिक एडवाइस देंगे. शायद very quickly on this one, जो मोहम्मद अफजल साहब की जो कॉल आई थी, let's just quickly tell on this.
Yeah, I mean the rules are quite straightforward. Obviously the law in relating to comprehensive insurance is to do with people who are actually coming here and joining the British partner spouse. So they need to have this. Because the person who is in UK is already entitled to NHS.
So they have to.
There's no need for a British person to take out this insurance, but this is for
anybody outside the EU. Well, outside the UK.
Outside the UK.
Outside UK. That's why it's important. बिल्कुल सही.
That they are not no recourse to public funds.
No recourse to public funding. But बड़ा शुक्रिया शाहिद साहब. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
अपने व्यूज़र्स से ये बताएंगे. वी एक्चुअली रन आउट टाइम. माजरा करते हैं, कॉल नहीं ले सकते थे बिकॉज अब टाइम नहीं रहे. पर इंशाल्लाह हमारा जो नेक्स्ट प्रोग्राम आएगा नेक्स्ट वीक में, उसमें हम ये डिस्कस करेंगे ऑल द इश्यूज़ अबाउट जो ये Tier 2 का विल डिस्कस दैट and spouse visas. We'll discuss all the जो business होते हैं उनको क्या accounts में ले, उनके accounts में क्या paperwork होना चाहिए and how they should do this, because कभी-कभी ये होता है people have 2 jobs होती है, कोई पार्ट टाइम काम कर रहा है, उसके साथ एक और भी जॉब होती है. These are the issues we're going to be talking about next week inshallah. So we're going to be back on the same time at the same place and at Legal Matters. Myself and my colleagues will be here to share the platform. Once again, Shahzab, it's so nice to have you back on the program.
It's a pleasure to be here with you.
Bada time ho chuka tha. It's been like a long time since we shared the platform. But inshallah ise hum jari rakhenge because we're here to give generic advice to the public. Or again, we're going to be back next week. Really sorry, bड़ी कॉलें आ रही हैं, ले नहीं सकते because we run out of time. And thank you for watching Legal Matters. और जो हमारे बाहर मुल्कों से देख रहे हैं throughout Pakistan और जहाँ वर्ल्ड में, उन सबका शुक्रिया अदा करते हैं for tuning in and watching our program. So inshallah next week इजाज़त है. We'll be back for Legal Matters next week.